What's up guys, today we're going to be going over the Salvager's Salvo, which is the new ritual weapon in the season of Chosen. And in this video, we will be breaking down how to get this weapon and going over all the perks and determine which of the choices are the best. And before we get into the video, if you need to buy any version of Destiny, including the DLCs, on Nexus there's a huge sale right now, up to 50% off on select DLCs. So if you're just getting back into Destiny 2 and you need to pick up a few DLCs or even the game itself, go and check out that store link in the comments and description. Also, when this video goes live, I will be streaming Destiny 2 for a few hours. We'll just be grinding a new season and chilling. Anyways, let's go ahead and begin with the video. So when you first start off the season, you want to go to the gunsmith to pick up the questline to get this virtual weapon. And this questline only has one step with two objectives. That's going to be pretty much doing any playlist activity and getting kills with grenade launchers in those activities. The way we did it was the Nightfall. The Nightfall counted it as 3.3% towards the completions, so we had to do 33 Nightfalls. We also tried Lake of Shadows on the map. That was roughly 2 or 2.5%. It was hard to tell. Then we also did the 1270 Nightfall, and that was 4%. So we determined the base Nightfall was the way to go, and we did 33 of those. Then along the way, just use something like the Deafening Whisper or any GL of choice, and you'll easily get the total GL kills required by the time you are done. And as right now, there's really no tips or tricks, you just gotta grind it out. Maybe if you wait until the end of the season where Master Nightfalls are more achievable and you're on light, that might give you a way higher percent for completions and make it a lot quicker. But overall, at the beginning of the season, you just gotta grind. So now looking at the perks on this weapon, it comes with spike grenades, which will increase the impact damage of this weapon, which is pretty good. Then in the left slot, we have two choices, Ambitious Assassin or Demolitionist. The first one I want to look at is going to be Demolitionist. This will give us our grenade back on kills with this weapon and also reload the weapon when we throw a grenade. And with special weapons, with 100 discipline, it usually takes roughly 8 kills to get your full grenade back, which is obviously pretty good. So this will work really well for grenade builds. Then the second part of the perk is when you throw a grenade or reload the weapon, so that'll allow you to shoot 2 shots back to back. But the thing is, in the recent update, they nerfed the demo perk itself. They added a cooldown to the reload effect. So if you use something like Sunbracers where you can throw multiple grenades very quickly, as you see, there's a cooldown of how often this can work. I could only pull off 2 reloads with the Sunbracers perk. So outside of getting your grenade back with Demolitionist, if your goal is to be able to shoot off 2 shots in a row, you may as well use the other perk, Ambitious Assassin, because you'll be able to shoot off 2 shots pretty much every single time with this perk. Once you get 1 kill and reload, you'll then have 2 in the mag, which obviously if you can't get a kill with those 2 shots, then I don't know what you're doing. So pretty much you will always have 2 in the mag with Ambitious, which makes me believe this will be kind of like the go-to perk for just general gameplay unless you're going for a grenade build. Then in the right column, we have 2 really good perks also, Vorpal and Chain Reaction. First, looking at Vorpal Weapon, this will increase damage to bosses and majors. So if we look at damage on Carl without it, it's going to hit for these 2 numbers right here. Then we go ahead and swap over to Vorpal. It's going to go up a little bit higher from 24.8 to 28.6, which is going to be that 15% increase of Vorpal. So it's not too bad. And hitting 28,000 per shot with a special weapon is actually pretty good. That's on par with most sniper rifles. Then if we start off with 2 and look at the rate of fire of 5 shots, it's going to take roughly 5.4 seconds, which means the DPS of this weapon is roughly 26,500, which isn't great, but definitely isn't bad. That is on par with most special weapons, pretty much right in there with most of the regular shotguns. You can also pair that with Anarchy, which will add roughly 14,500 DPS, taking the total to 41,000, which once again isn't anything insane, but pretty good for a typical special. But the thing that makes this weapon so cool is the fact that it has Chain Reaction, which is pretty much Dragonfly turned up to 11, but on weapons that can't get crit final blows. And the second I saw this last season on the Rocket Launcher and Heavy Grenade Launcher, I was like, this needs to be a perk on special weapons. I thought it would be on a Fusion, just like Loaded Question, but the first time we're seeing it on a special weapon is on a GL, which is almost just as good. And pretty much this is as close as we've gotten to Loaded Question since Loaded Question got sunset. And if you guys don't remember, Loaded Question was pretty much my favorite weapon in the history of Destiny. I pretty much used it the entire time it was out. I love that thing, and this is pretty much the same thing but in GL form. And one thing I noticed while using this is the way Chain Reaction works is after you kill an enemy, it's kind of on like a half-second delay, and as you see when you kill things with this GL, their bodies kind of go flying away, then they explode like that half-second later. And when I was playing, I thought the Chain Reaction explosions were kind of random and not that consistent. But now that I'm watching the footage back after I've already gotten off the game, I can tell that based on where I hit the enemies at, like if it's below them or above them, it'll send their bodies in a certain direction, then explode. And as you see in a lot of this gameplay, I'm shooting it towards their feet, which makes them go flying up in the sky. Then they explode and don't really hit that much. So what you'd want to do is aim above them or almost at head level, and that would cause them to stay grounded and just go sideways and really spread out that explosion of chain reaction. Anyways, it pretty much goes without saying that I love this weapon. I love chain reaction. I think it's pretty much the closest thing to loaded question we'll ever get. And that was one of my favorite weapons, which pretty much automatically makes this one of my new favorite weapons. And like usual, I'll show off a build with this weapon. Since it is a grenade launcher, you can use blast radius, which will allow us to become chargeable light on double kills with the weapon, which will be happening all the time very easily. And our perks of choice for this build will be demolitionist and then also chain reaction. I do think ambitious is better overall, but we're going for a grenade build with dusk-filled grenades on stasis. And our exotic armor piece of choice will be Verity's Brow. Anytime we get energy weapon final blows, we'll get stacks of death throws, which will pretty much give us our grenade back quicker, make it do more damage, and also whenever we throw a grenade, all of our nearby allies will get a huge increase to their discipline stat. And finally, with our stacks of Charge of Light, we're going to be using Firepower, 4 copies of them, which they all stack, and pretty much what it does is when we throw a grenade, we'll get pretty much 60% of it back instantly. And this is a build I've used before, but the whole point is you become Charge of Light, you throw the dusk-filled grenade to suck everything in, you shoot it with a GL, and pretty much just chain kill everything. And then between the stacks of Firepower and demolitionist, you'll have your grenade back right away, and you're ready to go and throw it again. So overall, I definitely love this weapon. It's pretty much my new favorite special weapon in the entire game. It's really good for clearing out majors. It can one-hit most of them because it does a lot of damage per actual shot. Then it has really good ad clear, so it pretty much covers all the bases you would want from a special weapon. And that pretty much makes it, in my opinion, one of the best ones in the entire game instantly. And I think that DPS this season is going to be dominated by exotic heavy weapons for the most part. So it kind of allows you to use a special weapon like this for ad clear and major clear because you don't really need a DPS monster in this slot. Anyways, I think that's going to be it for the commentary, just some gameplay left from strikes. And like I said, I'll be streaming on Twitch for a few hours once this video goes live, so go ahead and click the link in the comments description and come over and chill for a little bit, and we're just going to be grinding out the season. Anyways, let me know what you think about this weapon, if you have it already, or if you're planning on grinding it like ASAP. Thanks for watching, catch you guys next time.